Welcome to day 198 of our Let's Grow annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. We are talking about financial growth for this entire month. And today's topic is insurance. My question for you today is, do you have adequate insurance to cover, just like an emergency fund, some of the things that we can never imagine but actually happen in our lives, in your life? Do you have adequate insurance? I will admit that at a very critical time in my life, I did not have adequate health care coverage and health insurance. And that caused me to lose, literally, it took me years, several years, over 5, to make up the damage that was caused by not having adequate insurance. I had to do a whole lot of things and figure a whole lot of things out that I didn't have covered because I wasn't anticipating a huge medical expense and a huge medical health challenge. I had a sudden cardiac arrest and I was not adequately insured for that event. And it devastated me, several of my businesses, and took me literally years to dig myself out of. And so I knew better. And that was just a huge lesson learned, but I knew better. And I chose to take the risk anyway, thinking, nothing's going to ever happen to me, because when we're younger, we think nothing's ever going to happen to us. It's amazing how as we get older, we realize, anything can happen anytime. And chances are the things that are going to happen are things that we have not actually consciously thought about and been prepared for. I don't know about you, but I was not ready for a global pandemic and the way that shut down was perpetrated in the world, right? I never even crossed my mind that there'd be a global pandemic and that things would just be shut down and stopped and whole industries would be destroyed and other industries would be created. It was just not in my imagination. So there's lots of different types of insurance, right? We've got Tim's story in Guide 2 of the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group page. You can go there and read his story and see how he learned about insurance and how he used and learned from having different and benefited from having different types of insurance during different phases and periods of his life. When we're young and pretty much when we're old, we need health insurance, especially catastrophic coverage and things. I'm not going to get into the details of health insurance. I'm not an expert. I just know when I did have it and it worked for me, and when I didn't have it and it worked against me. And again, like most humans, we think we're invincible and nothing's really going to happen to us bad. And then when it does, and we're not prepared with a backup plan, it can be devastating. I mean, it could have wiped me out for my entire life, but that wasn't an option for me. So there's health insurance. There is long-term care insurance. And they say now that with medical advances and how long people are living, one of the best values for people 50 and under, or might have changed now, but last time I heard, since I'm way over 50, I don't pay attention to it anymore, is long-term health care, because it's so expensive. I know the people I know that have been in long-term health care, we're talking, depending on the amount of services you need, $10,000 to $15,000 per month to be in those facilities, and probably more. I mean, there's probably very little cap on the actual upside of that expense and cost. That's why long-term care as you get older is something that you ought to consider. Where you're still healthy and 50 and under, it's very affordable. Beyond that, and again, like I said, I'm not an insurance expert. That may have changed. Disability insurance. If you're working and you are the sole provider for your family, do you have short-term and long-term disability insurance? Because if you have a loss of income, you still need to pay your mortgage. You still need to eat. You still need to take care of your family. That's one to consider as well. Life insurance. I'm not, again, going to get into this because I'm not an insurance expert. There's term life. There's all kinds of life insurance that can be used like a savings plan or an educational savings plan for your kids that you can tap into after a certain amount of time. Again, don't know anything about insurance for the most part. That's something that I farm out and let the experts work on. So I will say, if you have a business, you better have all the business coverage and things that you can possibly have. I now always carry an umbrella policy, which is several $1,000,000 that is an umbrella over every other type of insurance that I have that might not cover certain things. For example, if you get sued by someone, that's usually not covered under any of your other insurance policies. And so you want to have that umbrella policy to protect your life, your investments, your long-term legacy, etc. Savings insurance, the FDIC insures still, I think, $250,000 in any of your accounts. But beyond that, what are you doing? Do you have insurance of that? Do you have savings? Do you have an emergency plan? We talked about that yesterday. And then I just briefly mentioned the umbrella policy, and they're relatively inexpensive. They do cover you in the eventuality of anything bad happening that you couldn't anticipate. That's why I like them. So our action item today is to do a personal audit and a business audit, if you've got business, of your insurance coverages. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that does not read every page of the insurance. And we had a car accident. We got hit actually in a car accident with one of my business's vehicles in the business vehicle. And sometimes there's things that are missed. We did have a loaner car in there, but the insurance agent tried to say we didn't have a loaner car. And it was a delivery vehicle that got crunched, and we needed a vehicle immediately to replace that particular delivery vehicle so we could continue our commitments to our customers. So sometimes your insurance agent doesn't even know what's going on with your insurance. That's why it's important that you or someone in your organization or you in your personal life actually look at that stuff and know what you got for coverage. All right, that's it. That's all I've got today. We're thinking about insurance because it's a great financial buffer that can help us protect our assets and our resources and our income streams in the event of the unexpected or the unforeseen happening in our lives. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, read Guide 2, watch a video again in Guide 1 if that's helpful, and let me know if I can help you in any way. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.